Johnny Five.
Welcome to the Smoke and Mirrors podcast, your destination for the latest in streaming and movie news and reviews. We are your hosts, Rob, Dave, and Triz. So today we cover some trailers, who's joining the Five Nights at Freddy's cast, what Robert Downey Jr. is up to next, Cameron Crowe's next film, Apple's big plans for their Apple Plus features, Victoria Alonso's response to a recent departure from Marvel, Jonathan Major's unfortunate mishap, and Chad Stahelski's reason for his Highlander movie to be delayed. Now let's start the show. Are we living there, big dogs?
Yeah, good.
That was really good, man. I had a real packed weekend. Took the lady out for her birthday.
Nice.
But it was like, yeah, went to a nice little bar and grill out this way. They killed the entrees. The mains was just regular. I was just trying out a place.
Sometimes it's better, God. Sometimes when you give them that lead time for the main, they mess it up.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
This time was like, the entrees were fire. They were all like fried. Like their taster board was the salt and pepper squid. Then you had they did like a boerewors type thing, like a sausage skewer paws. And then these chicken tenders, but they added the pickles on the side and gave you the buffalo ranch mix. I was impressed. I was impressed with the starters, and then I was just like, I'm comfortable with this place. Started looking at how could we maybe book a little dinner or something there. And the mains came out, and I was like, I'm gonna have to give them another shot, see if they can redeem this. Or wasn't busy. Me for mains?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Jules got the ribeye, so that's the steak tester.
How was it?
Jules said it was just all right. Wasn't great. And I got the chicken breast like I always do. Lemon and herb number. It was like a little bit. But then I got the African hot chili. I don't know why it's got to be the African hot chili, but it was. I think they just wanted to say peri peri, but
yeah.
But it wasn't bad. The meals were fresh. It just didn't do anything extra.
Flavor wise, wasn't there, right?
Yeah, I mean the sear was there. It was good. Nah, but then them starters though, I'll go back for just them starters.
You know, some people go to a restaurant and just starters or something.
I can see why.
Yeah. And then they'll go to another dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my weekend. Blasted by real quick.
Really fucking did this weekend. It was Sunday before I knew it.
Sunday fun day, baby.
You mother.
How you going there?
Yeah, good, man. Good. I just had a stacked weekend as well. What do you call it? Did the couple thing and did the car thing and opened up a joint bank account.
Return some videotapes.
But no, yeah, it was pretty stacked for me as well. That Saturday went from I woke up at 8 and then I was up until 2. It was a big day.
Standard.
Standard. But no, it was good. It was good. But so moving into the show with our trailers. So we got the first trailer for Love and Death with Elizabeth Olsen and Jesse Plemons. This looked all right. I don't know if I'll stick around for it, but it seemed pretty interesting with the whole she has a little side relationship there with the Plemons. Seems like they're very Christian couples, and then the murder happens with the axe. They're trying to figure out what's going on there. You don't know if it's a murder of love or if it was just a random murder.
Yeah. Jessica Biel was in that series Candy, which also did this. That was on Hulu. The difference being they're playing the same character. The difference being in the Jessica Biel one, you know it's her from the start. And this, they're playing it out like a mystery. Spoilers, sorry. Spoilers.
Right.
Yeah. Well, looks good. Looks solid.
Yeah. Not bad. And we also got the trailer for Big Shark. So this was the This was the weirdest trailer I've ever seen. Like, this was next level. Bloody. So obviously it's about a big shark, and this shark can go, like, it seems like the water follows the damn shark even onto the land. Then we got a few shots of like people boxing as well. But then halfway through this trailer, it turned into Tommy Wiseau's underwear like advertisement.
Yeah, it was like, love is blood.
Yeah, love is dangerous.
Love is inspiring or some shit like that. I was just like, what is going on here?
This was like one of those. You remember in like media class, they'd ask you to like make something like a passion project, and this looked like that level of like movie trailer that you'd make.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen more cinematic excellence displayed on a fucking what's his face student art film.
True. Also, one of the viewers here, Dardmore, said it sounds like his kind of movie. I don't know if he's referring to the underwear or not, but I'm in.
You go get him, Dartmoor. Go get him.
But that was all our trailers. Sorry, dog.
There's that other shark movie coming out. Josh
Lucas.
Yes. That one doesn't look too bad.
True.
The black shark or something like that.
Black shark, yeah. Change that name.
Yeah, that's right. They're off the coast of Madagascar and shit like that.
Yeah.
But moving into our casting as well. So we have Elizabeth Lail, who's joining the cast of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
So there's no current details on her role, but we just know she's going to be part of that group. For anyone who's not privy to the information, it's just about a security guard, something like what's that Nick Cage movie, Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah.
Excellent that movie.
Yeah,
not bad.
And as well as that, we have Linda I'm messing up all my words this weekend. So we got word, it was pretty exciting, that Linda Blair is going to return as Reagan in David Gordon Green's Exorcist movie as well. So they didn't delve too much into how that really plays into it, but obviously with the mother being there as well, we're going to see how that plays out. Is she living like, alone, or is she still with the mother considering the events, things like that?
Yeah. So there was that shit though, where they said that she's not actually in the movie. Oh no, they didn't say that. She said Linda Blair is a advisor on the film. She was there for a few days.
That's a cameo when you think about it.
Yeah, that is.
It sounds like they're going to do.
Maybe she only shot it, to be honest. I can see them doing that with this movie.
True.
That sounds
yeah.
But I wouldn't put it past them to have Reagan in there to see what the impact would be like 40 years down the track.
I'd like her just to call her. Tell her to do a voiceover, mate. I don't need to.
Well, what if she's like, she kills herself or something like that?
I don't think it's going to be that. Honestly, I think they have to credit her in the movie because they're going to use the tapes. Because you know how they record her in the first one, yeah? And she changes.
Yeah.
They legally have to. It'd be essentially considered a cameo if they used her voice in the movie. You know how Karis records her
on the set, though? Yeah. Well, why would you go to the set for that?
Because she was an advisor.
I reckon she's going to be on the camera. That's my bet, because they want to get her in and then just write her out. That's that legacy bullshit that they do.
For me, it was the whole.
This is the legacy. The mother is the legacy.
I know, but she's staying on. This is just like the in and out. Like, got to show the original girl. You know how David Gordon Green do?
It's true.
For me, I reckon it's going to be the whole idea of like, we have to go back to where it started, and they go see her.
It's not that same demon. What's his name?
Azusa?
Yeah, it's not the same demon. It doesn't make sense to go back.
But they could still want that information, like on what could have happened, because maybe nothing's really happened in that time as well, in regards to a possession.
I would have liked if they sort of brainwashed Reed to make her think like she had ADD or something like that, some mental disease. Try cover it up.
Yeah,
That's right.
That would be good.
Yeah.
We'll see on October 13th.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
excited,
not going
man.
to be what we said. Our ideas are much better than theirs. They can't go back and shoot it now. So
David Gordon Green.
Mr. Green, it's picture lock. We can't do it.
We'll fix it in the sequel.
So, for our last bit of casting, we have, I'm going to butcher this surname as well, and I apologize in advance, but Lucy Tulagajak is going to be Tulagayuk? Gayuk.
Native
Turkish or what's going on?
Native American.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, because she's like Alaskan.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's going to be joining the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2 cast. But as well as that, on another exciting note, we have a reprising member, Rolf Saxon, who was in the first Mission Impossible, that's going to be here as well. And they actually gave a little breakdown about him too, saying that, after the events of the first Mission Impossible, he got fired or he got repurposed to an Alaskan unit.
Yeah. Checking soil samples in the Alaskan shelf or whatever it is. Checking, Keatridge banishes him.
I cast you out.
That's what it was like.
But yeah, that's all the casting and the trailers.
All right, so on the radar. So Robert Downey Jr., he's got 2 films coming out, or that's rumored to come out, right? So the first one for Vertigo, the classic Alfred Hitchcock 1958 movie. He's rumored to be playing the main in there, who was played by James Stewart. He's also got, where is that other one? Cool. So him, Robert Pattinson, Amy Adams, Forrest Whitaker, and Daniel Deadwire are attached to this movie called Average Height, Average Build. So this revolves around the serial killer that, just go into politics, and I'm going to start changing the rules a little bit so that I can get away with these murders. Beautiful. It's done by what's his face? Don't look up, Adam McKay. This is the casting that we're getting. If it is an Adam McKay movie, there's going to be 30 other people in this movie. So yeah. They don't know who it's going to be done by currently. Supposedly because the political views are left and right in the movie, nobody sort of wants to touch it. And Netflix is sort of afraid to touch it as well, which is right. So Cameron Crowe has said that he's going to direct a Joni Mitchell biopic. He said that it's not going to be biopic. It's not going to be like, a documentary sort of style either. It's going to be you're reading an autobiography, right? Which is crazy when I think about it. Because then he's back to try and do what Tarantino does, essentially. Yeah. And is everything that's on the radar.
I'm excited for that Vertigo remake. I just really like the original.
I need to watch the original. I haven't watched them yet.
The original's pretty good. Alfred Hitchcock, so it's like twisty and shit. Oh, just plays Twister with his bald head.
Yeah, but is it like just constant Twister? Because like sometimes I just don't like that. Just, you know what I mean?
It's what's his face? It's in line with the story. It's not like a big twist. It's more like it's a who done it and how done it.
Right.
And also why done it.
And where done it.
It is a where done it as well. Yeah. It's all the
bases.
shit. Yeah. Fingers in all the pies. All right. News and development. So after Damon Lindelof got a little bit shook on the red carpet there, talking about his new series, and said he's not really the man for the job for the Star Wars movie. He'd rather just watch it. They ousted his ass. And same with Justin Britt Gibson. So they've departed the untitled Star Wars film over there at Lucasfilm. And Stephen Knight has jumped on board, making him one of the most in-demand writers and developers and creators right now in Hollywood, because he's got a couple of other shits that's going on that we'll get to further on down the list. Big news.
Is not the same Stephen Knight that does C, yeah? That's The Knight.
That's The Knight. But he is the same Stephen. He is the same Stephen Knight that does Taboo.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So Apple, weirdly, has rumored that they're going to start investing money into theatrical exhibition. Now, not any, like, just normal, I'll put a little 2 million here, I'll put a little 3 million, $1 billion right off the bat. So Apple, historically, is more in the acquisitions as of late. That's what their kind of the supply has been like movie-wise. But now putting $1 billion in for original spec scripts and whatnot would mean that they want theatrical exhibition exclusively in thousands of theaters across the world for a minimum of 1 month. A minimum of 1 month exclusivity before it hits their streamer, which is a wild pipeline, but also one that would, if successful, make them one of the most popular and part of the zeitgeist streamers and film production studios in the world.
I love
That's
that
nuts.
idea.
That's putting your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And they put out quality.
Yeah. Like, I love, like, honestly, what the movies compared to watching it at home, it was amazing watching it in the cinema. Like, amazing. Yeah. They using the Disney Plus stream in the movies, but still, it was really, really good.
It was. And I think there's a lot more movies that would hit more at the theater than at home, even if they had the shorter, like, exclusivity window.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with Knives Out too.
Yeah.
People went crazy that it was only in cinemas for a week. You know what I mean? And it hit the top 10, and it was a limited release.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? So that per theater average would have been massive compared to every other. Yeah. Seems like the move.
Nice. Yeah.
We'll see. I think that
physical media.
That's what I was going to say. That's only like 2/3 of the pipeline, because we also need the physical media for a lot of these streamers, including Disney, who still hasn't put Prey out, weirdly. I don't get that. But anyways, Scott Rogers, who did the stunts on John Wick 4, also talked about the scrap Batgirl sequences. Now, he was talking about Brendan Fraser, keep fucking his name up in his Oscar win.
He's gonna come for you with the
whale suit. They should just do the whale. Jesus. After he levitates into the light. Anyways, spoilers.
Killer, man. That's what's gonna happen.
Killer whale. It's the sequel to Tusk.
Is that why Scott Adkins' name is Killer? Seriously.
Maybe.
Because giant.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what you
Wow,
get
wow,
here. That's
wow.
what you fucking get on this podcast. You heard it here first, motherfuckers. Deciphered. Scott Adkins. We
Mm,
got it locked. All right. So all the way over there in Scotland, they were doing these stunts, right? And this guy, Scott Rogers, was talking about some of the stunts that they did. They were shooting 40-foot flames out into the
mm,
sky. There were sequences, Brendan Fraser and a flamethrower fight. There was a fire truck and motorcycle and wheelies in front of the flames and all sorts of wild shit. This guy, Scott Rogers, is like, I'm sad that we'll never get to see those sequences that we did. However, I've learned so much that I can then take those sequences and put it in another movie, at which Warner straight away filed an injunction to stop the show. I'm
Stop
joking
it.
about that last bit.
Stop that. You know, the best thing that I saw in that article was him saying that like there was no superheroes in it. There was no
Yeah.
metahumans in it. This was all like just regular people fighting regular people. So that
Yep.
sequences were so grounded and so real and whatnot that it just I don't get it.
Yeah. And when you think about it, that would have been 8711, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Which would have been doing the fights, the action sequences, the training, all that sort of shit. I'm a little bit sad. A little bit sad that we're not going to see it. Know what I mean? But hopefully this is back for whatever
He's
comes
with
next.
Batman now.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
The other one.
Yeah.
Pattinson doesn't seem like he can fucking fight at all.
Oh.
How does Batman get thugs? How does Batman get beaten up that much? He's the Batman. It's not like it's the first year Batman. This is the second year Batman.
Yeah.
He's got a whole 2 years under his belt. What are we doing? You just
Yeah.
want to get beaten up?
But who was he fighting, like, seriously, before he was Batman? Was Alfred training him? They don't go into that sort of shit. Or was he just at his private boys' school fending off Jeremy with the fucking anaconda? You know what I mean?
Jesus. It's been used from like 20 years ago. I called it the anaconda. What's his face? He Batman Year One. He's literally out on the streets, beanie. What's his face? Streetcar named Desire, leather jacket, and jeans.
Yep.
Beating up people, and that's how he's doing it.
What was he called? He was called the Stranger? Or the Drifter?
Jesus.
The Drifter. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how he honed his skill.
They need to go into that shit. They really do. That's why, like, sometimes it pays off when you see the training. Know what I mean? So season 2 of Taboo has been announced. One of the O's just like, just as like a little sort of offshoot of what they were saying. And season 2 of Taboo, we're developing that, should be shooting in 2023. And O's is like, fucking what? We've been waiting for like
6
9
years.
6 years. Yeah, 6
What,
years. Yeah. It's like, and maybe we'll get some more Dickens in there too. Like, what? Go back to the Taboo shit. But apparently the issue is scheduling. And of course, like with a cast like that, where would you find the time with Venoms being made and all this other shit?
Yeah. Tom Hardy's too busy doing the Pan Ams for BJJ, man.
Yeah. That looks mean.
Yeah, he knows.
Some crazy news. So, hot off the heels of Magazine Dreams, setting a date for December 8th this year, which looks like a big awards contender. Like, it's one that we haven't really seen much of. It's had its debut on the seasonal festival track, but hasn't actually hit wide screens just yet. John Majors got arrested in NYC. Allegedly for domestic abuse and the strangulation and assault of his partner They don't actually confirm, but they said their situation was domestic. It's sad news because Jonathan Majors is such a talent. You know what I mean? And he's one of the fastest rising stars in Hollywood. And I don't want to see him kind of silenced or that career cut short because of the impact that he has in the films that we watch. And he's fucking got it. The O's got the talent. Like, he's got the acting bug as well.
Yeah.
And he seems so humble in his interviews and whatnot. It's just, this seems out of character. And I'm not defending him because I don't know what kind of happened. I wasn't there in that hotel room, and I wasn't a police officer on the fucking scene either. But I just, yeah. Hopefully things get cleared up. That's what his lawyer said. He said, we're going to clear his name and we're going to clear this up. So, yeah, there's some reputational damage that kind of needs to be waxed clean. So we'll see what happens. More on that later in the year. We'll see. Oppenheimer is going to have a massive, massive runtime at 3 hours, which is kind of becoming the norm, weirdly. We went to these ultra short movies and now we're getting ultra long ones. Guardians 3, being the last one in the series, is going out on 2 hours and 29 minutes. Which still isn't as long as Wakanda Forever, so we'll see what happens. James Gunn will probably pull that off. Pause. Victoria Alonso, who recently got fired from Marvel, who I thought was going to take over from Feige, is suing Marvel for reasons of her, breaching contract, which she did, for producing the documentary Argentina 1985. So she apparently would take days off to then, produce the film, which impacted the visual effects shots being finalized, completed, and okayed. Now, they amended her contract to ensure that she could then produce this movie, but then after, telling her, hey, we're at risk of not completing these shots, she continued to do so. So to me, it seems open and shut because she breached the contract and whatnot. But this is more in that have a heart sort of category. So we'll see what happens there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a contract, but there's also it's up to manager's discretion. And that's where I think this kind of sits, is that gray area and kind of what Feige and Iger have in mind and what image that they want to put out there. Pause. Get rid of it.
What do you mean? Iger's gonna tell him, you take that, have a heart, run it up the road? That's what he's gonna tell him. Iger is a beast. He won't say it like that. He'll say it nicer.
Yeah.
That's
We're in the business of making money here, Victoria.
That's right.
Yeah. So the fucking the O at Prime Video, the VP, James Farrell, wants more Citadel-like franchises, which is wild. Citadel hasn't even come out, but they're banking on it big time. So imagine you sunk $200 million into a show, not a movie, a show, 6-episode show, which is wild. And then said, well, we're going to do a spin-off. And you already shot that. And then you said, well, we got plans to do another spin-off. They want more franchises like that. Like, how do you even get a return on investment when you're just throwing money out like that? It's insane. It's insane. We don't even know if Citadel's going to be good.
It probably won't be.
This is what's throwing me off. This is why I'm only giving it 1 episode.
It doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't look good. For me, it doesn't look good. $200 million for this, and it doesn't look good, mate. And you've only got 6 episodes. Like, you've only got 6. It's 100. Make a bloody Game of Thrones season. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Amazon has got money, and they're throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. They're running their streaming service. They're running like the Amazon business. You can't run the streaming service like that. You can't offer everything. That's down. It's okay, we're going to give you this, and we'll give you this, and this, and this, and it's just too much. And people are just like, no, it's too much stuff over there. I don't want to watch any of the stuff over there.
Yeah.
It looks anyway.
I think that's the difference between Amazon and an Apple, because Apple will acquire that property, and then that'll become Apple's. You know what I mean? But they only put out Apple shit.
But they're
They don't license other films.
Yeah, very meticulous though. Apple. Okay,
Yeah.
this script is doing really, really well. Okay, we'll go after that, and we'll get a really good director, and we'll get a really good star. We'll build it around them, and we'll wait. We won't do anything in between there. We will wait. Like these guys, I still think that Rings of Power is going to come back and just bite them.
They got 4 more seasons in the tuck.
I doubt they even have that.
Snyder's Rebel Moon, apparently the vocal re-recorder was saying that he did edits for both the normal version and the extended R-rated cuts. So it's more than one movie, like it's 2 movies. So they haven't even confirmed, okay, Rebel Moon Part 1 comes out Christmas. Rebel Moon Part 2 comes out, what, April or New Year's? When does it come out?
I reckon Christmas again.
Well, Christmas the next year, or like
Christmas
2 parts, same. Oh shit! You reckon they're going to take a break?
Yeah,
that needs to be confirmed. I kind of feel like that needs to kind of happen, because if you're dropping the normal version, you want people to watch that. Then you want to go, hey, we've also got the extended R-rated cut, and that's going to be dropping when? You know what I mean? It just seems like they're kind of going, here's 4 cuts of the movie, take it or leave it.
What's his face does that now? Disney does that now. I think what they're going to do is, okay, these R-rated cuts are going to come out on Blu-ray.
Oh fuck! I hope so.
Yeah.
Because if that PG-13 is a banger, I'll buy the R-rated cut.
You know I'm buying them hits.
Fucking oath. So that's dropping in December. Chad Stahelski and Shay Hatton, who wrote John Wick Chapter 4, we're talking about the John Wick film timeline. So they're saying 1, 2, and 3 take place days apart, right? They kind of happen in, let's say, a week. Yeah. But then the gap in between 3 and 4 is roughly 6 to 7 months, which makes sense, because in the start of the movie, he's like, you know, he's repaired. He hasn't got the bloody eye. He's not all fucked up and whatnot. His fingers had time to heal. That makes sense. Apparently, Keanu's got a different version of events. So I don't know what's happening with him. But they said because of that gap, it gives them time to fill in that timeline with the ballerina movie, which Shay Hatton also wrote. So that's why in 3, that ballerina scene was in there to then sort of show this is something that the Belarushka do. Which, like, you know, I want to see a trailer to see the tone of what Len Wiseman? No.
Yeah.
Len Wiseman?
Yeah.
Len Wiseman is kind of cooking up because in the credits on IMDb, that chick that's in John Wick Chapter 3 has the same name as blonde. Fuck. Ana de Armas. In Ballerina. So we'll see. All right. And also, lastly, Chad Stahelski. Fuck no. Chad Stahelski was talking about why Highlander is taking so long to adapt. Because it's been since 2016 he's gotten the gig. Yeah. So in that time, he said, I've worked through 7 seasons of the show, 5 movies, and 2 like telemovies or something like that. Which he said the issue is the lore. And it's telling a story that would thrive without just having a movie of exposition about the lore. Which I think the first Highlander did that perfectly. Amazing. Whatever he needed to kind of draw from in the present day was a flashback to how things kind of were. Yeah. And that informed the story going forward. Not only that, but Russell Mulcahy was like, you know, transition king.
Yeah. killed that.
Fucking nailed
Absolutely
it.
killed that. It's beautiful as well,
Mm.
the way that they do it. There is one though where he opens up the box and he's like just staring into oblivion. There, I don't like that.
Yeah,
That one's. I'm like, that you could have
yeah,
cut that one
yeah.
with no. I just cut directly.
You're reaching with that
Yeah,
one.
I'm like, come on, dog.
It's
me. It's me.
But I'm excited for it, man. Whatever Stahelski's cooking up is going to be quality, and like no doubt, because of John Wick 4 working on his storytelling, he's now looking at that differently. So incorporating lore that you have seen before but haven't seen before in a different way takes time. Quality takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Oz is pumped for it. But that is all the news at this time. All right. Moving into our thoughts. Shrinking episode 10, the series finale, culminated in the wedding of Jimmy's friend Brian. Its focus was on the impact of having friends that help you get through the tough times, forging strong friendships and honoring them. And its message about grief also extending to healing yourself so you can help others by understanding they are not done with their journey when you are. It's not like this singular journey as well. And this first season was great. It was likable characters and relatable circumstances that resonated with me a lot. I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, there's a big thing about regrets in there as well. And making sure you're not causing regrets for later on. You know what I mean? If you have the time now, do it. Do everything you need to do. Whew, all right. So episode 5 of Bel Air. It was quite good. Will what's his face gets let back into school, finds out he's been nominated for this fellowship, which Carlton is also going for. So there's sort of like, tension there. Carlton was actually going for it. Will obviously doesn't want to do that. Basketball. What's his face? Him and the chick that he was seeing, she tells him that they can't be friends anymore because he starts seeing this new chick. Yeah, it was an okay episode. It wasn't bad. Pretty good this week. You find out that what's his face? Well, the Tejada family, one of them, Kane, finds out that the father for killing one of what's her face's kids. So yeah, it's going to be all out war soon.
Damn.
Set up their they set up their drug operation. They start selling to Wall Street guys now, which is cool. Yeah, I love it. It was excellent.
Good for market. Yellowjackets came back. Was it big what? Big what?
It's a big market.
Yeah, and it's a different scene when you're taking it from the streets to the Wall Street O's, and it's a different way you got to operate too.
To the whites.
That's wild. Yellowjackets made its return this week as well, which is crazy. There's a fuckload that kind of happened in the episode. I wish we had a double episode or a longer debut because it kind of begged for more. So overall, I liked the episode. It was slow pace, and that's why I wanted the double episode because you needed the fire at the end of that to kind of get you charging and get you pumped. But it's all set up. This season is supposed to have a lot of what the fuck moments. So I was just I'm still excited. I'm still in, but it just kicked off a little bit slower. It included a lot more setup for the characters to work through in the season. We're introduced to Lottie in the present day through Natalie's character. And she's not all fire and brimstone. Like Lottie wasn't the bad bitch that you kind of thought she'd be after becoming spiritually awakened over in the loft in the cabin in the woods there. We get a lot of flashback sequences. One with Natalie and Travis investigating the disappearance of Travis's brother Harvey after Shauna told him to run in the last season at the festivities when she was in demon mode and shit. present day Misty is investigating, if anyone is investigating the disappearance of Adam from season 1, that Shauna and all of them killed. But through that, because she's looking at like these message boards, through that we get introduced to Elijah Wood through voiceover.
Yeah.
You don't actually get to see his character in this episode. Shauna also gets a flashback sequence that takes place following the death of Jackie. So she's like, feeling the guilt for sending her away and her dying in the snow, in the cold. And like, they kind of work through in Shauna's head, they kind of work through how her and Jeff got together and kind of why. She was like doing Jeff behind Jackie's back, which is kind of like trifling. You know what I mean? On both their parts, the boyfriend and Shauna. That's the best friend. Kind of fucked up. But then Shauna brings back meat from the bear that they killed in the last season. But then says that it's running low, which means we're getting real close to cannibal season. You know what I mean? Because they always hinted at it since the start of the show. And now it's time to, like, meat's back on the menu, boys. But also, Shauna and Jeff, they're going through all of Adam's like properties and shit like that, and find this stash of drawings, like Titanic James Cameron drawings of Shauna naked and shit, which is kind of weird because he was like a plane crash groupie, like that tragedy groupie, and they burn all the evidence and wipe her face out using like the terps and shit. But there was a convenient piece of the ID, of Adam's ID, that wasn't burnt, which Shauna's daughter Callie found, and that's how they kind of ended the episode. There was a lot more, I found, familial drama that while it's kind of like the setup, it's not as intriguing as finding the links to what happened in the crash, in the snow, in the cabin. Like that sort of shit is interesting.
Yeah, they need to step it up now.
Yeah. I expect every episode from 2 to 10, which is like the driving, to be fucking fire.
But like for me, I didn't see that coach come back with them. They ate the rest of him.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
I want to see how that happens. I want to see. So should have just stuck with Harvey, either that or stuck with that black chick. What's her name?
Tysa?
Yeah.
That was at the end of season 1, that reveal. Because who was doing that? Was she doing that? Same. I was a little blown away at that bit.
3:30 in the morning. I got a little sad to turn the lights on.
Run up the stairs. That's what I used to do. What's face? Tysa's part was the wife found all that ritual shit in the basement, and now she's like, she wants to keep the son separate from her. That was a little bit weird, that little interaction that they had, because the wife that found the shit was like, fuck away, get away. And then Tyson was like, look, I'll talk to your mommy. It was like,
I know.
Okay.
Was like, what is going on here? It was like
that. But I didn't like that she said to her, if you don't step down from office, then I'm going to go to the papers. And it's like, we don't work out the rest of our shit like that. Why would it matter now? Like that was more a story.
Just an excuse to kill her.
You know, reckon she's living?
Is this an excuse to get rid of her? Like, oh, okay, cool. Now we got our reason. We tick that box off. Some tension there. He kills her.
Yeah, but that was such a like a story device, and not a good way either. It was like, not like you wouldn't realistically say, I'm going to the papers with this shit.
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
You just wait until ACA hears about this one, mate.
60 minutes, your ass.
Do you remember back in the day there used to be that actual little jingle with news and ATA?
What the fuck?
It was wild. Like Channel 9 just had jingles for everything.
Was Ray Martin like turning around in his chair and shit?
I think so. Doing This Is Your Life. It was.
Isn't that Mike Whitney?
Now Ray was doing it first, and then Mike Whitney took over.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. And that is a wrap on all the news and reviews. Check back in with us on Thursday when we talk about Air, talking Mandalorian, talking Ted Lasso, we're talking Succession. Yep. It's all going on in the Smoke and Mirrors pod. Stick around. Tap into all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Like and subscribe. We're getting quite a few subscribers lately, and we're loving it. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And yeah, love yourself. Love movies.